Is it already starting? Let me check. Yeah, I think it's already started. Alright, so yeah, let's do this. Alright, so welcome back everyone. Thank you so much for joining tonight's stream. And yeah, if you have any question, feel free to ask. Yeah, let's get started. So yeah, yesterday we have started texturing the 3D model, and we have completed the rigging for the body, basically the entire part of the character. And as you can see, we have completed the hair and the hat texture, and I think it looks pretty well. So now what we are going to do for today is we are going to texture the clothes, basically the rest part of the 3D model. So what I like to do is just reset the pose here, or maybe we can make a keyframe, so maybe later we can use this pose again. But for now, let's reset it back to the T pose. And I think we can start with UV unwrapping the body first. So let's hide the head, hair, clothes, rig, and we left with the body here. So go to shading and apply the temporary material, and we can go to the shader editor, make sure to select object, and then we have this UV checker texture. So now we can unwrap the body. So let's start with the arm, I guess. So here, let me turn on my screencast so you can see my hotkey here. So let's select this part, mark seam, and then around this part, and set, or maybe around this part, mark seam, and we can select this one, split it right here, mark seam, mark seam, here we go. And then for the leg, we can do it like this. So mark here, mark seam, right here, select this bottom part, and then here, mark seam, and we can select the, I think I forgot to select this one, mark seam, and for this one it's going to be around here, maybe right here, mark seam, and then we can select the hand. Let's select these edges here, mark seam, and then let's try to separate this part. Yes, you can select this one manually. It's right here, then somewhere right there, mark seam, and we can select this part and mark seam, then we can unwrap this. I think we need to add a seam here too. So mark seam and then select all and then unwrap it. Let's see how it looks. Alright, I guess we don't have any overlapping with, I guess something, oh, I think that's already correct. Alright, so we have unwrapped this body. Now the next step is we can simply create a new material for this. So let's create and name it body material and give it the custom tone shader that we created yesterday, and then create a new image texture and give it a name of body texture. There we go, and make the resolution to 4K. And we can disable the alpha and create a new image. Now we go back to the texture paint, and for the body we are going to just fill the color with the skin color. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a simple body because we don't really have like a very detailed texture, I mean hand painted texture for the body. As you can see, the design is basically flat colors, so that's why you can simply add this base color and save the texture. So let's save it to this folder. There we go. Now allow me to open my File Explorer a moment. Let's see where we did save it. There we go. Now we have this. Okay. So now I think we can maybe add a an outline just to check the model. So let's bring back maybe the head and the hair just to preview the model. Then we can apply, let's see, now we can add outline here. So geometry node, and then select head outline, I guess. It's called custom outline. Okay, give it like maybe one here, and we can select the head outline like that. There we go. Now we have the outline. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe we can like Nauval some at here, or maybe not. Yeah, we can do that later if we need to. But for now, this simple color is already enough. Alright, so now let's begin texturing for the clothes. So we have several clothes here. Maybe let's begin with the shoes here. Oh wait, we need to unwrap each of these clothes first. So let's unwrap them. Oh, but before that, I just want to duplicate all of this and make a backup in case we need them. So let's do the unwrapping. So I have assigned each of these to the temporary material where we have this UV checker texture, so we can see how the unwrapping process much better. So let's begin with the shoe here, and then we can make sure to clear all the seam first. Let's begin with the shoe right here. So here, mark seam, right here I guess. Here, mark seam, this part, mark seam, and then you can select this. We'll run right here, mark seam. So maybe we can put it right on the top. Mark seam, and we can split the seam right here. Alright, I guess let's try to unwrap this. There we go. Maybe that's too long, so let's split this at this part. Or maybe not. We can leave it like this, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, I think we need to split this. Oh, maybe not. Just we can split this part and then this part and try to unwrap it and see how it looks. Yeah, that's looking okay. Then we can go to here, mark seam, and then maybe let's try to unwrap it. There we go. I think that looks okay. And for this part, I guess we can leave it as it is, I guess. Let's see. Let's check. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we can leave it as it is. Now let's go to this shocks. And then mark seam, and maybe we can split it at this part, I guess, or maybe at this part. Yeah, let's do this right here. Okay, and this one for the upper part, I guess we can split it at the middle here. Okay, let's try to unwrap it. There we go. Oh wait, let's try again. There we go. Now it's clean. Now for this one, it's going to be like this. Mark seam. Can leave it like this. Oops, mark seam. There we go. Now let's unwrap this. Alright, now let's select all of this and unwrap. Let's check. Yeah, I think that looks okay. This is called UV unwrapping. The process, what we do here is UV unwrapping. So basically, if you ever do origami, so basically we like trying to unwrap the origami so it appears on the plane like this, and then we can give it the texture by painting. So basically just convert this 3D model into a 2D image so we can paint. Yeah, it's a required process of any 3D model. Alright, so let's start with the skirt. I think can simply just split it right here at the middle, then unwrap this, and maybe you can let's delete the other half so you can just apply mirror modifier. There we go. Alright, so now let's go with the dress, and I think we can simply just split it right here, or maybe we can just simply unwrap this. Let's see. Yeah, we can split right here. Let's see. Yeah, this one is better, so let's leave it like this, and then we can move on to the cloak here. I think I forgot to apply the I already did, so let's just try to unwrap this. Alright, so we definitely need to cut it somewhere right here. Edit this part, then we can split it right here. Maybe like that. Okay, let's try to unwrap this. There we go. Alright, so next let's begin with this one. So this one you can simply mark him at there, and then right here. Okay, then we can unwrap this. There we go. And let's begin with this. I think we can simply just unwrap this, right? Okay, that looks okay. Now we can move on to this part. Yeah, we can simply just unwrap this too. There we go. And for this one we can simply just unwrap, and for this one we also think we can simply unwrap this without any seam. Let's yeah, it looks okay, I guess. Yeah, we can leave it like this. Okay, let's check if we missed some part. We have done this. Yeah, we have already did all of them. So what we can do is select all of these objects, and then go to edit mode and unwrap all of them. Maybe reduce the margin to 0.02, or maybe we can use the pack island here, pack island, and scale. Okay, I think that looks okay. Nothing overlapping between the UVs. So let's just to be safe, let's pick up these models to some folder. Alright, so now we can begin texturing for the clothes. So let's create a new material for the clothes, and we can name it clothes material, and let's apply it to all of the clothes. There should be like a shortcut for this, but I don't remember what the hotkey is. So let's just apply this manually. So select one by one. Alright, so we have applied the material. So now we can create a new image texture and then give it a name of clothes texture, and for the resolution we use 4K. Alright, so now we can begin giving giving it a base color. So maybe let's begin with, I don't know, maybe the shoe. Let's begin with the shoe. Oops, shoes. Here, let's isolate this and go to the texture paint, and then we can make, I think we can make a new palette. So let's duplicate this and let's begin color picking the reference colors here, so we can match the colors. So this part is going to use that. I think this one is greeny color, so let's use this. And for the yellowish lines here, so let's pick up the color, and then this light green, and also the white dress there. And this brown color too. So let's pick this color. Alright, so I think we can start now. So let's go to wireframe mode and select the bottom half here. Then we can use a paint bucket and select the color. Now we can just paint this part. Yeah, basically we are giving a base color for the texture. So yeah, here it's going to be like this, and this one is going to be a gradient of green and light green. So let's try this. There we go. Then for this part is going to be similar, so it's a gradient of green here. Then for this shock, it's going to be a gradient of brown to a green. So maybe like something like this, I guess. It does not really look well. Let's see. Let's just ease. There we go. It looks much more smoother. Let's try here. Yeah, I guess that looks alright. Maybe let's try again. Okay, that looks alright. So let's select this part and give it the yellow color here, and then this part and give it a white color. And let's save the texture. So now we have the base color here, and then we can make a detail later for this. Right. Yeah, let's begin with the other part. Maybe let's start with the skirt and go to texture paint, and for the skirt it's going to be a gradient of green to light green, like that. Oh, it's the other way, so like this. Alright, so let's save it. Then we can select this inner dress. Then we can choose the color like that. Or maybe we can like make a gradient for it. Let's see. Maybe like this, a bit darker. So let's try again with a gradient color. Okay, I think that looks okay. And we can move on to the cloak here and give it the color of brown to darker brown. I think that's right. And then we can move on to this part. Okay, then save it. Then let's start with the inner necklace or choker here, and then we can make it the color to be white. And for these lines going to be blue. There we go. And then we can select this part and give it the color of white. Then select these lines and give it the color of, I think that's brown. Oops. Brown right there. Okay, maybe we can make a gradient. Oops. Yeah, I already did the weight paint. I think it was in the third and fourth stream, I guess. If you want to check that part, you can watch those stream. Oh, the UI for the chat is looking a mess, so let me check. Uh, this size. Yeah, I think I scaled this incorrectly. There we go. Yeah, we can fix that later for the chat uh, box. Okay, so I think we can move on to the, let's see, this parts, the tie thingy. We can pick the color here, so it's going to be yellow to orange, if I'm not mistaken with the color. So give it orange here and then yellow there. There we go. Let's select this part first, and then this one. There we go. Now we can finally select this part, which is going to be a goldish color. So select this, and maybe we can make a gradient too. Let's see. Yeah, a gradient to this. Oops. This part. Okay. Now let's try. I'm not sure if there is an add-on for the UV unwrapping, but usually, yeah, you need to manually unwrap the UV. It's not much work. I mean, like, you simply try to guess. If you ever create an origami paper, yeah, you simply like try to guess how to fold the paper. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. It's basically, it's basically like unwrapping an origami object. But probably there is an add-on for that, but I don't use that because it's just a simple process, so it doesn't really need an add-on. And if you can manually unwrap the model, you can be much more precise with the result. But yeah, I don't know if there is an add-on for that. Let's see. Can go do it like this, I guess. Yeah, now we already have the base color. So what next to do is give it the details, like these lines here, these simple dots showing a knee to signify the knee, and then these little dots and ornaments. So yeah, we already have the piece color, and then we can move on to the, or maybe I want to make this gradient too. So let's just do this real quick. So maybe like this, I guess. A little bit gradient. Okay. Now what we can do is we can select all of the object, and then we can export the UV because I want to edit and add the details using 2D drawing software. So we are not going to use Blender to make the details. It's just my preference because I like to do that. I like to do it that way. So export the UV layout and save it to a folder. Then we can rename name the UV as codes UV. There we go. Now we can just bring back the head and the body so we can see how the result looks like. Okay. Let me answer the question real quick on the chat, just in case you missed the audio from the stream. Alright, so yeah, let's back to here. Now we can, so for the 2D drawing, I'm using an app called Clip Studio Paint. You can use other alternative like maybe Photoshop or maybe, yeah, basically other software that you are prefer. So we can just import this to image. So now we have the UV overlay and then the base texture, base color here. So let's save it into a file project here. So now maybe let's begin with the simplest one. Let's see which one is the simplest one. Yeah, maybe let's start with the shoe here. So we want to make an outline right here. So let's just do that. I think this is at this, let's see, at this position. Right, so let's create a new layer and then pick up this color, and we can trace this part like this. Yeah, there must be an easiest way of doing this, but I just don't know how. So let's just make it manually. So let's export this image and reload it back. Oh, I think we do this incorrectly. So let's just bring it back. Yeah, if you are using NPR shader, yeah, usually you can just add base colors and then yeah, it should look fine, I guess. But if you ever play games that use tone shading, that like the models looks like an anime character, maybe something like Genshin or maybe Honkai Star Rail and other games, so they use a mix of an NPR and texture to make the character looks cartoony. Especially, for example, if you see here for the hair, so we have the outline here using shader, right? But sometimes the outline does not render on a specific location. For example, this part right here. So this one is hand painted. So yeah, basically a combination of shader and basic texture. So that's what we are trying to do here. Yeah, no worries for frequent question. I like to answer questions. It just make the stream more lively. Yeah, another example is let's see if I can pick up my model, my other model, just to give you an example. Oh, the loading process is much longer. There we go. So if you ever watch my other videos, we have this character here. I created, I think like 2 weeks ago, I guess. So as you can see, this one is actually hand painted for the outline here, but for this part it comes from shader. So a combination between shader and texture, which makes this looks very cute. Yeah, I really proud of this model. It's a very great character. Let's just close that and continue with the model. Okay, we can export this. Yeah, it definitely need to be much thicker. Yeah, it is basically the same method that I did for the model that I just showed you earlier. So basically I hand painted the outline on separate software. And sometimes it takes time, but yeah, it's not like a hard things to do, so I usually enjoy this process. Alright, so yeah, let's begin adding the details here too. This one's going to be a bit darker, I guess. Something like this. Yeah, if you have like the what is the software called again? I forgot the name. I think it was, yeah, Substance Painter. Yeah, that one. If you have that software, I think that software is quite expensive, but if you use that software, I think you can make the texture much more easier. But yeah, again, it's very expensive. Or if you want to use the pirated software, I think that's okay too. No, don't do that. Always pay for the software that you want to use. Yeah, the thing is, I actually work as software engineer outside of making 3D models. So I know, like, the ethic. Okay, let's just paint it very carefully. Or maybe we can just give it a simple color. Let's see. We can just make it green. Oh wow. Yeah, that software is very expensive. Yeah, you need to use it if you bought it. For Clip Studio, it's quite cheaper because there is an option to like one-time purchase, so no need for subscriptions. So that's good. Let's see. This part came out from here, yeah. So yeah, the downside of using the built-in texture pane from oops, it looks scary. The downside of using the texture pane that provided by Blender is there is no layers management, right? So if you make mistake, you need to like redo it again. So it's a destructive process. So that's why I choose to make the texture on a separate software. Yeah, rigging is the hardest part. I also feel that. Oh, I think there's another part that's much more harder. It's creating the plane shapes, the facial expressions. This 3D model? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm thinking using this 3D model like for short animation later. But yeah, that's just a plan, I guess. But yeah, definitely you can use this model for games too because it does not have a very high polygons. Let's see. Yeah, we can like simplify the polygon if we use it for games. But I tend to use this model for short animation later. Let's see, where did I missed? Yes, I'm trying to do. I forgot. Alright, yeah. Creating the knees right here. So I think this part going to be like this. Yeah, that one's too low. Let's try to move it up and scale it a bit. Let's see. Yeah, maybe a little bit up. Oh yeah, by the way, usually if you create 3D models, can you use Krita? Yeah, you can use Krita. Anything 2D software that you can are comfortable with. Yeah, definitely. Any software 2D software is fine as long as you are comfortable with the tools. Just want to select this part. It's going to be here. Yeah, facial rigging is the hardest. Also, if you create facial rigging for ARKit, so the facial tracker for iPhone, yeah, that one is very. It's not. Yeah, we can say it hard, but it's also very 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 time consuming, because for ARKit you need like 52 plane shapes, so basically you need to create 52 facial expressions. Yeah, that part is hard. Oh, it's auto rig. Yeah, I never used that, but yeah, it's just for reference. ARKit is pretty much a hell. Let's see. Okay, let's try to export this and see how it looks. Maybe we can add more here. Oops, the color should be black. Okay. Maybe a bit more. Yeah, it's just trying to see which combination is the best here. Here we go. Okay, I think we have completed with the shoe. Let's see what the color that it should has. Yeah, it's kind of brown, so let's just apply that like that. Yeah, what basically we are doing is like edit on the software and then export the image and then reload it on Blender. To reload it, you can press Alt R like that. Okay, so I think we can go with the skirt. So let's find it. Yeah, it's right here. So the skirt has these lines here. So let's try to do that. Just give it a simple stroke and see if how does it looks on the model. Yeah, we definitely think that's looks okay, but I think we need like a much thicker stroke. Okay, let's see how it looks. Yeah, it's not the way I want it. Let's see if we can. No. Maybe much more thicker, I guess. Yeah, it's like try and error. Each model will require like unique way. Yeah, that's finally need so thick. But yeah, we can make it a bit thinner. But we have the way, we know where the line should be, so it's somewhere in the middle of right there. So let's try again. Okay, let's try to export this and see how the result. Yeah, it definitely much better, but I guess we can make it thinner around that part. So let's delete a bit. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks much better. So now let's see what we are missing from this skirt. So it needs these tiny little dots there. So let's just create them, and maybe at that we can organize the folders here so we can see it better. So let's rename these to shoes. This one's going to be skirt. No, I don't think that's pointless, because what we do is so it depends on the model actually. So for this one is it won't like move like it moves like this, so it does not like being affected by the engine, I mean the simulation. But if it is, as you can see, if we move it around, it does not stretch that much. Same thing like for the example model that I have earlier. So I think this one. So as you can see, it much more subtle because this one is not a chibi character. So yeah, it depends on the model actually. So usually games, to optimize the processing unit, they actually rig the this skirt, so they are not simulating it to save the performance. But as you can see, if somehow later we want to add cloud simulation, as you can see, when we stretch it, it does not really affect the the texture much. Maybe this one is a bit uh, looks like a problem, but yeah, I don't think we will stretch it like this. But yeah, that's basically what I like to say. Let's just close the other project here. Okay, so yeah, let's continue making the little dots here. So we just do it manually. We don't really need to rush. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this one a bit too close, so let's bring this reference UV map. Oh, that looks okay, just delete that part. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Or maybe a bit somewhere right here, there, there. And maybe you can reduce the opacity to maybe 50, so it does not to make the contrast a bit lower. There you go. Now we have the skirt, the shoe, and next one is going to be, let's see, maybe we can start with the brown cloak here. So let's just make another folder. Let's see the design here. So it goes like this. Okay, so we can choose the color here and maybe using 60 width. I think that's too thin. Let's change it to 100. Yeah, and that much more better. Just take a look at reference again. Yeah, I think that's enough. And then I think it goes up too, if I remember. Let's see. Let me check. Let me check my reference here. I think I put it here. So this one is the original design from the game. Yeah, it goes up, so... Oh, no, it's not. Alright, so yeah. So we can leave it like this, and then we can apply the ornament there. Or maybe we can just being creative. We don't really need to follow the original design. So let's just apply this too right here. Model the back with only front reference. Yeah, it's pretty much you need like to imagine imagine how the model should looks from the back, or if you have the reference such as this one from the original game, you can see much more details there. But yeah, for the sake of this character, we just want to make it simple. Alright, so let's try to create the ornament. I think it goes like this. I can use the curve tools here. And I think it looks like a flower, I guess. Or maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, it's basically you just need to take your time, like enjoying the progress. No need to be hurry. Yeah, it does not looks good. You know what? We can do this like this. So we can just go to the Blender paint mode here and try to trace the shapes for the ornaments. Yeah, sometimes I do it like this too, and then we can fix it on the 2D software. Yeah, each artist will have their own way, but this is how I usually texture my character. Yeah, thank you, Don Polona. I hope I spelled your name correctly. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we can like save this. Oops. Did you see my wallpaper right there? Yeah, it's so impressive. Okay, we can bring back the texture that we modified on Blender, this one. Then we can trace these shapes. Maybe we can use curve. Let's see. Yeah, it's all about imagination. Okay, now we can hide this and try to smooth. Yeah, it's not the best way to do this, but yeah, it does what it does. No, I don't think you need to know how to draw like a pro, except if you want to make like hand painted 3D models, like super detailed hand painted 3D models. For example, like if you ever play games like, I think it some like mobile games, for example Dota, Mobile Legends. Yeah, those games. If you check their 3D models, they are hand painted for the texture. So if you want to make this kind of model, yeah, you need to have some skill in drawing. Or maybe, yeah, it's basically depends on the 3D model. As you can see, if you notice my drawing, it's not that good. Like, I'm still trying to fully understand how to use this software. Alright, so yeah, texturing is actually drawing. Yeah, what I'm doing like right now is, yeah, basically drawing, because this one is, you know, a cartoon character, and a cartoon character is usually need hand drawn texture. But if you want to create model like realistic models, I think that you just need to learn how to texture and then bake the texture into an image map like this. I hope I explain it properly. Okay. Let's see if we can move it maybe a bit there. Maybe rotate this a bit. Yeah, I think it's too big, right? Let's see. Yeah, it's too big. Okay, let's just try to make this looks good. Yeah. So as you can see, if we draw this using an external app like that, you can like make changes really quick, and it's not destructive. That's why I prefer this workflow. Okay, maybe a bit here. Just want to see if it looks correct. Okay, I think we can leave it like that. Okay, so we can add the tiny dots there. I think for the colors, I think it's different. Like it's much more deeper for the green. Let's see. So like that. So something like this, I guess. There we go. Maybe a slight of lighter color here. Then we can apply the dots thingy. Give it like 50 opacity. That's not what I want. Maybe like this. Not that too. Yeah, just want to create these shapes. Looks perfectly balanced. Maybe like that. Yeah, I think I like that. Alright, so next is this part right here. So let's select this one and trace the outline here. Okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, I think that looks okay. Okay. So now I guess we can start with the thigh first here. Okay. Let's see how it should looks. Something like that. Okay, this one is, let's call it cloak and make a new folder. And you can use the curve. Maybe give it 50, I guess. Let's see. I think that's the perfect thickness, I guess. Let's just cross check with the design here. Yeah, that's okay. Then we can make the white part. So it goes so here, oops, here goes like this. And for the white part, like this here. Hey, wait. Where is it? Oh, like this. It goes like that. Let's check. Yeah, it should not be curvy. Maybe we can try it like this. Okay, let's check this. There we go, it's much more looks better. We can make it a bit thicker. Let's see, 20 I guess. Okay, so we can add the background color. Just simply like that. I think that's finished. Let's try to export this. There we go. I think the line should be goes all up, so let's just create a new line here. Or maybe not. Let's refer this back. Okay, I think that looks okay. Okay. Alright, so now I think we can begin with the inner dress here. So it should has like ornament. Okay. Yeah, I think I put a wrong color for the skirt, because if you see the design, it's much more darker for the green. I think we can fix that. Just simply go to texture paint and then make sure to select the skirt, and we can go to the texture paint and then select the green here, pick the color, then we can oh I choose the wrong buttons. Let's try again. Okay, now we will try to make the gradient here. Maybe like that. Let's see, that's too much. Like that. Okay. Yeah, I think this is the perfect balance. Maybe yeah, this one is okay. Alright, so let's bring this back and just copy this part. Then we can replace the color. There we go. Let's try to export this and reload. Now we have it fixed. Okay, so let's begin with this ornament around the inner clothes or the dress. Let's create a new folder. So the shape looks like a cell or something. Okay, let's choose this and pick up the base color. It's going to be green, and just try to paint somewhere right here. The shape is abstract, I guess. Okay, let's just try to block out the color and try to export it and see how it goes. Let's add the here. It's yeah, this one needs to be much. We need to delete this. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, we need to delete more. Try again. Yeah, we need to delete this part more. Let's try again. Maybe this part too. Let's try again. Yeah, I think that looks okay. So now we can clean this. Just trying to clean this part. Okay, I think we can. Let's check how it looks. Oh, it's bleeding too much. Okay, I forgot to consider the edges here. Okay, let's try again. Let's check how our design. Yes, so the gap is much more bigger, so much bigger. And delete this part. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we need to delete it more. just trying to be perfect here. Okay, so we can use that. And now let's try to make some segments. So based on this design, it looks like some kind of weird pattern. So let's try that. Yeah, I think that looks fine. Yeah, it does not look very similar with the original design, but yeah, we can use this. Let's just clean up some part so it does not look sharp. We want to make it round. Just a bit. Okay, so now we can create this little circle, yellow circle. Okay, maybe right there, here, here, and here, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's too small. Let's make it bigger. Let's try again. Alright, that's much better. So we can give it the inner part here. There we go. Now we need to apply some gradient color. So like that, I think. There we go. I think this part needs to some, it looks boxy, so I don't want that. I want it to look round. Let's see how it looks. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, I think that's better, I guess. Okay, let's see what we missed. Let's refer to the design here. Yeah, we missed this part. I think this one, right? Look at it. So here we want to give it a bit outline. Let's give it more, I guess. Okay, so the outline, I think the color should be darker green here. Okay, let's try again. Here we go. And this one needs some highlighting. So let's select this. So around that part. And we can add some highlight. So soft. Let's go white, I guess. A bit highlight here and highlight here. Now okay. Oh yeah, we forgot about this part. So this part needs like a yellowish lining here. So let's do that. I think this one is right here. Okay. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so I think this one needs to be like round. Let's see how we can do that. Maybe delete this part. Let's check this. Yeah, it's something like that. So let's make it smoother. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much done. I guess. But I would like to add more details, especially around these edges here. Just want to make like, well, as you can see, this one is not correctly aligned. Let's fix that first. I think this part is here. Let's see how we can fix that. Okay, so basically we need to like reduce this. I think that fixed. There we go. Yeah, I just want to make like a little bit outline around that part. So yeah, let's do that. Let's create a new folder and layer. Just because we have, I think we have some time to make those details. Okay. Oops. Maybe give it like 8. Just trying to trace these lines. Let's check this first. There we go. Now it looks much, defined. Okay, let's continue. Okay, let's see. Okay, now like this. Okay, let's check this. Okay, I think we can add the color to we make the color not black but darker yellow, something like that. Like this. Let's try. And maybe this part is darker green. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, so let's just give it one more go. Okay, now let's make the other outline. Whew. Maybe we can start with this one. Okay, let's try to export. There we go. And maybe this part here. just want to add the details, although we don't really need to actually do this, but just want to make the details. Okay, now that looks good. And finally this part. Maybe we can start like this. Okay, now run this part. Going to be a bit curvy. Okay, now let's see. There we go. I think around this part needs some highlights too, because if we check the design, it has these lines. Let's see how we can do that. Yeah, maybe we can like add like kinda shade or something. Maybe we can do it later. I think this part is fine. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. I think we can add more details too, like give it like highlights to make things interesting. Let's try that, and if it does not work, we can just revert it back. So it needs to be like this, so the color is a bit lighter. Okay, like here, here, and here, be here and here. Let's try. Yeah, it's too light. Maybe a subtle lighter. Let's try again. Yeah, I think we can use this. Let's see. Alright, I think that's looking good. Let's save the file so we don't miss it. Okay, let's bring back the lighting. Let's check the shading first, and make it posing so we can like see it better. Shading. Yeah, I really need to like work again with the shading. I'm not sure how the correct shading should be. Yeah, but we can, we simply already have finished the texture, but for the shading we can like experiment with it. Okay, I think we can try to add outlines for the clothes part. Let's begin with the shoes here. So maybe here we can add the geometry nodes and select the outline. And give it the material of 0.15 like that. Yeah, the outline is not correctly rendered, but I guess we can fix it later. Or maybe we can just try to disable the outline and see how it goes. Or maybe decrease the outline to something like 0.5. See how things goes. Yeah, I think that's too thin. 0.01. Let's see. Oops. Let's try to add outline here too. So geometry nodes, outline. Yeah, we can make a new outline material. So let's copy it from the head outline here and make it like clothes outline, and the color will be this green. There we go. Now we can apply this to this part too. Now as you can see, the outline is overlapping with the body. We can fix that later. Just want to apply the outline for each parts first. So this one, add geometry nodes, outline. I think this one, let's use the hair outline. This one too, so geometry nodes, outline. This one. This one. Okay, let's see. Yeah, although the outline is not perfectly rendered, I think it's enough for now. We can fix that later, I guess, but for now we can like make sure to duplicate this because we don't want to make mistake and make a backup for the object. Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think the model is complete, guys. The 3D model is already complete. Yeah, basically we need to fix these outline errors. I'm still not sure how to fix that, but for now we can keep it like this because the texture is already complete. So maybe we can just let's try something. So let's select this and maybe give it, oh wait, let's experiment with this one. Yeah, I'm not sure how to fix the outline. Maybe I will try to figure out later. But what if we decrease the outline thickness just a little bit? Geometry node. Scale to maybe 0.001. Too much, maybe 0.5. Maybe 0.8. Yeah. Yeah, then we can leave it like this. We can fix the outline maybe for tomorrow or maybe I don't know. Yeah, but the 3D model is basically complete. I guess we can finish this stream for now. Let's see how the preview. Yeah, I think this looks very nice. Yeah, I think we can conclude for today. I don't know if I will stream tomorrow, but if I stream tomorrow, I think we can continue on working on a better shading, I guess. But if that's not an option, I think we can start working on the facial expression, like maybe create simple shapes, plain shapes like eye blinking and then mouth saying vowels, smile, something like that. Yeah, we can start working on the facial expressions for tomorrow, I think. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, thank you so much for joining today's stream. I hope you are having fun with me. Yeah, we can continue the model for tomorrow at at 8 p.m. Indochina time, the usual time. So yeah, see you later tomorrow. Thank you guys. Bye bye.